Well, the battle for Amethi is this election's clearly most acrimonious and high decibel contest. It's among the 15 seats in Uttar Pradesh polling today. There are, of course, 25 seats in Simandra, which is also voting for its first assembly, 7 seats in Bihar, 6 in West Bengal, 5 in Uttarakhand, 4 in Himachal Pradesh, and 2 in Jammu and Kashmir. Among some of the big names today, Vijay Bahuguna, Veerbhadra Singh, Kiran Kumar Reddy, and Moon Sen. Well, Rahul Gandhi objected to a lotus symbol inside a booth at a polling station in a village in Amethi. A lotus flower was apparently drawn on the blackboard using a chalk. He objected to its presence. He said that he has complained to the Election Commission about this. Well, let's turn our attention now to the Simandra region. Remember, in 2009, the Congress had virtually swept Andhra Pradesh, but political dynamics have changed here completely following the decision to create Telangana. A straight contest between the two regional powerhouses, the veteran Chandrababu Naidu and the challenger Jagan Mohan Reddy. Both are vying for the Simandra Chief Minister's chair and a lion's share of the 25 Lok Sabha seats that play a role in national politics. There have been clashes which have been reported in the Guriganaru village in the Jamala Magadu assembly between TDP and YSR Congress. So some incidents being reported over there. Let's just go straight across now to Kadapa, where Uma Sudhir joins us now. Jagan Mohan Reddy obviously contesting from the assembly seat of Pulivendula. Give us an idea of how, it's not as straightforward as perhaps the YSR Congress would make it out to be. I was watching that interview of Jagan Mohan a little while earlier on to you, Uma, where he seemed to say that we are going to sweep these elections. There are no two ways about it. But on the ground, is there a sense that it's going to be tougher than what the YSR Congress makes it out to be?
If you listen to Jagan Mohan Reddy, you would think he's sweeping the polls, and if you listen to Chandrababu Naidu, he will tell you exactly the same. So the contest is certainly going to be very fierce and very close. In fact, Vishnu, the Simandra region has traditionally had the habit or tradition of actually going one way or the other. The difference in the vote share of the two parties is generally very close, but it goes one way or the other. Usually there is a very, very clear mandate given to either of the parties. As you mentioned, ironically, the Congress, which gave 29 Lok Sabha seats in 2004 and 33 Lok Sabha seats in 2009 to the UPA kitty, now nowhere at all in the scene, and that's the reason why here we are seeing huge numbers. This is, of course, a pocket borough of the YSR family. Vijay Lakshmi, mother of Jagan Mohan Reddy, was holding this seat after the death of YS Rajshekar Reddy. Kadapa Lok Sabha seat itself has been with the family since 1989. In fact, 4 times held by his grandfather, Jagan Mohan Reddy's grandfather, Raja Reddy, then twice by his father, then by his uncle twice, and then Jagan Mohan Reddy himself in 2009 and in 2011. Even though it is hot, of course, arrangements have been made like this, Shamiana and also waters being provided here, because of which the queues have been steady. But this is not an area that Jagan Mohan Reddy is going to be so very worried about. Of course, he's touring the different areas around his own constituency, but he is certainly going to be worried about the rest of the state, the new state of Andhra Pradesh, 25 Lok Sabha seats and 175 assembly, as you mentioned, because all over this belt we are seeing a very, very close contest indeed. Huge amounts of money being spent. That has become really a tradition in these things. Everyone gets money for a vote to be cast, and all parties pay.
Yeah, all parties, they will pay to the voters. It is true.
How does the distribution happen? I mean, the election commission has found Andhra Pradesh has in fact recorded more than half of the total seizures in the country, 134 crores, but that is only the tip of the iceberg. That's what we are told.
Yeah, yes.
That is true.
Yeah, that is true.
And you were telling me up to 1,000 rupees for a vote, in fact, happens in districts or in constituencies next to this one.
Yeah.
500 rupees per vote by some people, 1,000 rupees. And does that make a difference to the way the voters vote?
Yeah, it will make 5% that will be difference. It will make 5% difference. Actually, before one day, the swing will be who will pay most money. That will be the swing becomes naturally who will pay to the voter. Huge amount, they will go naturally. It is natural.
So what we understand here, Vishnu, is that in fact the distribution happens obviously behind the scenes, invisible. There are people who are chosen in each of these villages, and the night before the money goes out, and then they have the voter lists in hand, and in fact both parties tend to pay all the voters. So in a sense, I guess some kind of wooing by both the parties happens, both the main contenders here in fact, and then the voters go out and cast their vote. Of course, the big day for the May 16th. Earlier we had spoken to Jagan Mohan Reddy as he came in to cast his vote, and when he mentioned that he is in fact hoping to sweep the entire region and also keeping his options open about who is going to support at the centre. So voting certainly going on at a brisk rate. It's been overcast at least in these areas because of a drizzle in fact that happened last night. Humidity is certainly high, but people able to come out in large numbers. The TDP BJP hoping that if the voting percentage is high in the urban segments, they will stand to gain, and the YSR Congress hoping that if the voting percentage is high in the rural segments, they will stand to gain. Very contested elections here in the Simandra region. I have with me Jagan Mohan Reddy. Very hectic campaigning, and you have just voted. What are your thoughts?
Good, my God. I think now the process has come to almost an end, and God's grace, things should turn out very good.
Very, very fiercely contested this election has been. Are you expecting it to be actually close? Many seats, people are predicting that it's going to be, perhaps the vote percentage differences are going to be low.
That's what NDTV says. But it's going to be a clean. Watch my word for it.
Okay. Your campaigning is now over. If you do come to power in the Simandra region, who are you supporting at the centre?
We'll keep all our options open. Why should we be in a hurry to support somebody? See, we have no pre-poll alliances with understanding with anybody. So all our options are open. The most important thing would be our state. Because the way the state has been bifurcated is very cruel, I would say that word. So let's have all our options open, and our interest will only be the state.
From Kadapa in the Rayalaseema region to Vijayawada in the coastal belt. Vijayawada, a possible capital city, very politically hot seat in fact it is considered, and that's where YSR Congress Koneru Prasad is pitted against Kesineni Srinivas of the Telugu Desam. Koneru Prasad, someone who was in fact in jail with Jagan Mohan Reddy, also named in the charge sheets against him in some of those corruption cases, and he's been fielded from there, and he faces Kesineni Srinivas. My colleague Maya Mirchandani caught up with him a short while ago.
What do you think your prospects are? Everyone is saying that the TDP BJP combine and the YSR Congress are in a very tight race.
Actually, it's a landslide victory for TDP and BJP, and especially today in Simandra we have 175 assembly seats and 25 parliament seats. Out of 175 assembly seats, TDP and BJP alliance is going to get minimum 150 seats in the assembly, and more than 22 Lok Sabha seats we are going to win. And today the fight is above all this religion, caste and creed. Today people in Andhra especially are suffering from inflation, unemployment, and today the development of the state. Today the development of the state, especially after separating from Telangana, all the assets have been given to Telangana,
right, and
all the debts have been on the head of the people in the Simandra. So people are very much concerned that a good leader with a proven track record for development should happen in Andhra and also in the centre.
Right. So also very quickly, there's a lot that's been said about the kind of money power that's been used in this election in Simandra. Some of the biggest seizures have been in this region, and we're getting reports from across party lines. What do you have to say about that?
Actually, YSRCP leader Jagan Mohan Reddy has siphoned off nearly more than 1 lakh crores from the time of his father's chief minister regime. So he has put in a lot of money into every constituency, assembly constituency and parliament constituency. You will see nationwide, if some X amount has been captured by the officials, half of the amount is from Andhra Pradesh. So most of this belongs to 90% belongs to YSRCP. Mm-hmm. All this corrupted money has now come out towards elections and spending for winning the election.